This is the worked example for the for counter loop. The subgoal labels for evaluating a loop are 1. Diagram which statements go together. 2. Determine the start condition. 3. Determine the termination condition. 4. Trace the loop. For every iteration of the loop, write down the values that are adjusted during that iteration. Here's the problem statement that we want to solve in this example. Given this code, what is the output? For subgoal 1, we want to diagram which statements go together. We want to group all of the statements that go with the for loop together. Because this for loop has curly braces, it's easy to see which statements belong. Subgoal 2, determine the start condition. In this case, look at the first expression in the for loop. X begins at the value 5. Also notice there is an accumulation variable, total, which is set to 0. These are the initialization statements. Subgoal 3 is to determine the termination condition. The continuation condition is x is less than 50. Therefore, the opposite of that, or the termination condition, is when x is greater than or equal to 50. Subgoal 4 is to trace the loop. In this case, we want to keep track of the values of total and x every time through the loop. We note that total begins with 0. X starts at the value 5 and will go up by 1, as can be seen in the last expression in the for loop. So x is going to count from 5 up to 50 by 1. Inside the loop, we see that when x is evenly divisible by 5, then we add the value of x to total. 5 is evenly divisible by 5, so the first step is to add 5 to total. 5 plus 0 is 5, so total becomes 5. Then x becomes 6, which is not evenly divisible by 5. Then 7, again not divisible. 8, not divisible by 5. 9, not divisible by 5. 10, 10 is divisible by 5, so we add the value of 10 to total, and now total becomes 15. We can see that x continues to increment by 1, but the only time something happens in the loop to total is when it's also evenly divisible by 5. So when it's 15, we add the value 15 to total, making total become 30. When x is 20, we add the value 30 to 20 to get 50. When x is 25, we add the value of x 25 to the current value of total 50 to get to 75. When x becomes 30, we add the value 30 to the current value in total, which is 75, to get to 105. When x becomes 35, we add 35 to the current value in total to bring it to 140. We continue to trace the loop. When x becomes 40, the total becomes 180. When x becomes 45, the total is 225. Then when x becomes 46, total stays the same. 47, total stays the same. 48, total stays the same. 49, total stays the same. When we get to 50, we have reached the termination condition, and we exit the loop. Therefore, the output from the final print line statement is to print 225. This is the end of this worked example.